Here's a look at your daily market report on this Wednesday, the 20th day of August. Starting to see a bit of feedlot trade develop. Volume still very light, however. Day 2 of the pro farmer tour numbers are in as well, and we'll get into both of those shortly. First, we'll take a look at what we're expecting at the auction barns around the state today. About the only early listings we have is from Windsor Livestock Auction. They're expecting to have about 1,200 head today. Springfield Livestock Auction having a sale. Nothing that we know of from Vienna today. Haven't seen anything whether they're having a sale with the heat or not. Green Sea Livestock Auction. Very, very light run today. Nothing will be reported from there. On Tuesday, SEMO Livestock Sales in Jackson, they had a very light run, only 256 head, not enough to establish any kind of a market there. Not enough at Interstate Regional Stockyards on Tuesday to report the market there either. Kingsville Livestock Auction, they sold 1,157 head. Comparisons were very light. The calves, unevenly steady. Yearlings, they sold mixed. A lot depended upon the condition of the cattle yesterday, and that was noted as making a big difference in the prices on the light offering. Nothing at F&T Livestock Market on Tuesday. Lawley Brothers Livestock Market, they had a special cow sale on Tuesday, 175 head. Some bred cows, medium and large 1s and 2s. Some 2 to 8-year-old cows in the third stage brought $37.50 to $42.50. They had 31 head of bred heifers, medium and large ones, weighing 1,025 to 1,250 pounds. They brought $4,200 to $4,500. Of course, we already talked about the Unionville Livestock Auction. They had 855 head. Compared to 4 weeks ago, the steers and heifers there sharply higher. Those full pot loads of yearling steers from the Rock and R Ranch, they sold $27 to $29 higher than the sale from 4 weeks ago. Ozarks Regional Stockyards in West Plains, they ended up with 1,236 head through the barn, another 851 head sold via the video auction. Yearlings only light tested this week. Calves were unevenly steady. A lot of small drafts and odds and ends at the auction this week. The steers, medium and large ones, some 4 to 5 weights, 442 to 487.50, 5 to 6 weights at 395 to 450, some 6 to 7 weight steers at 367.5 to 385, a low to 850 pound steers at 328.50. Feeder heifers, a few 4 to 5 weights at 392.5 to 440, some 5 to 6 weights at 362.5 to 391, a low to 761 pound heifers in West Plains sold at 325.50. Box beef cutout values this morning. Choice down $1.77 at 405.43. Select up $1.99 at 381.75. Those values based on 75 loads of cuts, trimmings, and grinds. The Choice Select spread at $23.68. Negotiated feedlot trades seen about 5,227 head of confirmed sales so far this week. In Texas and Kansas, both still a goose egg, nothing so far. Iowa's reported just over 3,000 head, some live sales at 245, a few dress sales at 385. Nebraska's reported about 1,750 head so far. Live sales there, a few of them at 243, dress sales at 385. That live volume so far this week basically steady with last week's trade. Midday futures markets on the Mercantile Exchange. Live cattle, August is up $2.30 at midday, 238.62. October 234.82, up 347. December 236.32, up 307. Feeder cattle for August up 385, 354.42. September's up 422 at 356.65. October feeders up $4.12 at midday, 356.42. Lean hogs for October, 89.65, down 50. December, 82.77, down 20. And February, 85.55, down 25. Taking a look at the results from day 2 of the Pro Farmer Tour. Indiana, the Pro Farm Tour reported corn yields at 193. That compares to the August USDA estimate of 205. Nebraska was reported at 179.50 on the Pro Farm Tour, and that compares with the August USDA estimate of 192. Now, we do want to note those differences that are noted. It's important to note that there are adjustments with the Pro Farmer numbers over the past 30-some years that they've been doing this, because they do know that, the certain routes that they take and take those samples from, there is some difference between there and the USDA final numbers. So they have those adjustments that can kind of even it up with what the difference is on average from the final USDA numbers and the Nebraska Pro Farmer numbers. They know they're always significantly behind what the final USDA number is, usually by about 14 bushel an acre. And that's just due to the routes they take and the fact that so much in Nebraska varies between dryland and irrigated corn. When we take a look at the bean counts for the pods, that 3x3 area, in Indiana, they measured 3x3 pod counts of 1,376, which is down 2.3% from last year. Nebraska 3x3 area pod counts 1,348 pods, which was up 15% from last year. Today on Wednesday, they'll be covering Illinois and western Iowa, so we'll take a look in the morning at what those estimates bring. Taking a look at the midday futures markets on the Board of Trade, corn for September fractionally to a penny higher, September 380, December 404, and March at 421 3/4. Soybeans for September, 10.16 1/4, November 10.37 1/2, January 10.56. Those contracts 3 to 3 1/4 higher. Wheat contracts are 3 to 5 higher. September 503 1/2, December 525 3/4, March at 544 1/4. Soybean meal for September up $6.90 a ton at $294.30. Soybean oil for September, $51.34 a hundredweight, down 34 cents. With the Missouri Department of Agriculture, that's your daily market report for Wednesday. This is Tony Hancock.